Hello. It has been quite a while since I came to do a video about my whole kidney health and illness progression. I was intending to do a whole lot more videos more often, and then I just kind of got caught up in actually, you know, dealing with the issues themselves instead of making videos about them, and here I am. So earlier this month, I did go in for surgery. The It was originally just going to be a surgery to fix a hernia, an umbilical hernia that I have, with my insides trying to push their way out. This hasn't been said officially by any doctors per se, but considering that my kidneys are absolutely huge with cysts from polycystic kidney disease, I'm sure that is the cause of the hernia. And then when I found out my kidneys were failing and that peritoneal dialysis was an option, decided to go ahead and implant that catheter at the same time as the hernia fix. And then when they went in there to do those two things, they found a second hernia and fixed that while they were in there, which is just something that was a possibility they brought up, that once they get in there they could see more things and would just take care of them when they're there. So the original recovery time was supposed to be at least 2 weeks off of work, but that was when it was essentially one surgery instead of 3 surgeries in one. Surgery went well. A lot of pain afterward. They don't give out nearly as much of the painkillers as they used to. Like when I had my vasectomy in 2002, I believe, I got a lot more pain medicine for what was arguably much less surgery. But I made it. They have their reasons, society, all that. So I had the surgery. I've just been off work since then, recovering. I was using a cane to walk for a while just because it was too much, but after a while that just wasn't such an issue anymore. I didn't really have the surgery pain. Now, one thing I do notice is that my insides, I guess it's on the inner surface of the peritoneum, where the end of my catheter, where the catheter ends, is still sensitive, and depending on what I do, I am more or less aware of that. When I ride in the car, I am intensely aware that there is a foreign object deep inside my body. I just feel it. The best explanation I can think of is, if you picture an empty, plastic soda cup with a straw in it, no liquid, the straw is fixed at one end at the top, but it's sort of loose at the other end, so it can just sort of rattle around the bottom and side of the cup. That's what's happening inside me right now. The straw is the surgical tubing that makes up the catheter, and the cup is me, my inner body parts, which are not accustomed to being touched because they're inside. So that's the thing I've been getting used to. I have had a couple sort of mini dialysis sessions. One very small, just sort of little fluid in and out, just to kind of make sure everything worked, which it appeared to. On Monday I had the second one. I still didn't get a full bag of the dialysate liquid, but it was more than last time, and it feels weird. It doesn't always quite cross into pain, but it's just sensations that I am not accustomed to, and no one would be without undergoing this process. next steps, I'm still have some dialysis training sessions because I'm going to be doing it myself, so I need to be able to do it myself. And then they always start you out doing it manually, which just means it's gravity pulls the fluid into you, and then when you're ready to drain, gravity pulls the fluid out of you. There's no machine involved. The nice thing is that you don't need a machine or power. Power goes out, I can still do dialysis. But you have to do that multiple times a day, which isn't really compatible with working outside the home. So the plan is really to get what they call a cycling machine that does it while you sleep. So I would hook myself up, go to bed, the machine would do the work, and when I woke up in the morning, I could detach myself from the gear and be set until the following night. Which would make it possible to work outside the home, which would make it at some point potentially could be easier to travel, because as much as it's a bother to carry a piece of medical equipment around, it's easier to do that at night in the hotel room than return to the hotel room multiple times a day to do that. But that is all well in the future, and I will deal with it at the proper time. Hoping to get a transplant sooner or later. So, anybody's got any loose kidneys laying around not being used, hit me up. I don't have too much more information to present right now, but I figure I'll give you a look at the my gear here on my body. I'm not going to undress the dressing, so you won't actually get to see my exit site right now. But so that's the microphone, don't worry about that. So in here is where the tube disappears inside my body. It comes out here. This is just the loose end. So this is what gets hooked up to the bags for fluids to go in and out. When I'm not using it, which is most of the time, it just goes in the belt. So this is just to keep the thing out of the way when I'm not using it. So yeah, fluid will come down from an IV bag into here and then into my body, sit there for a prescribed length of time, and then change the polarity on this. There's clamps to pinch things off, very high tech. And so when it's over, we will clamp the top so that the dialysate no longer enters it, and open up the other end so that it runs out into a bag and can be disposed of. And ideally it will take all sorts of toxins out with it and allow me to not feel like I'm being slowly poisoned to death. Well, I'll leave you there.